It could be like that today. Oh, where was I at? Get your chair. If you're going to do chair exercises. Get your weights. If you're just going to do weight exercises. Jump on the bike. Start your treadmill. Power on. Bluetooth mode. Y'all hear that? I'm walking, y'all. Trying to see my feet. I've been listening to jazz in the morning. Whoa! I said I'm walking now. Oh. Trying to see my feet and toes. Jazzes. So many songs in one song, but you have to be a music appreciator. To appreciate. Yes, y'all, yes. And I put something up for the maestro Ron Jackson, who's playing. Yeah, y'all. Not as stiff as yesterday. But I just think this part, what they call it, part of the course. Okay. Who's doing it? My daughter says, when I look a little cloudy, it could be the camera. And I'm looking, I'm saying, but also if it could be a little cloudy, it could be me. And my glasses. So let's see. Hold on, y'all. Come back. I got to turn you around. Come back. Here you are. All right. Okay. It was the lens. My bad, homie. Homies. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend to exercise. Because that's the point. That's what I found out this New Year's. They said, stop saying subscribe. They just snatched that page down in no time. And then what they got? I said, but if they walk with me every morning, they got a routine. So whether I'm here or not, you still got your routine. Wake up, line up, walk wall to wall, get your chair, do your chair exercises, do your weight. You've been following me. We're in our third year at 7 o'clock. It'll become natural for you. Natural. So, that's more important to me than subscribership. Oh boy, I hope YouTube don't take me off. Or followers on Facebook. I've been looking at that term followers. I don't like followers. Followers imply that you don't have a mind of your own. You didn't make the choice. The choice was made for you. Anyway, I love my supporters on Facebook. They're all my friends. Why can't you just be my friends when you're on real? Why you gotta be supporters? Why can't you just be friends? I made some new friends. Anyway, I understand that following means they're following the videos, they're watching stuff, which is cool. But in this cult society, you gotta be ever so cautious of following. Anyway, yeah, y'all, the stiffness is back. This 5 minutes can't get here fast enough. Because I know by the time the 5 minutes come through, whew, I'll be way better, y'all. Way better. Ooh. So, let me tell y'all about the subject. Block grant, NAACP, and GARC. So we know that the NAACP stands for the National Association for Colored People. But y'all, we have been really misconstruing that, because colored people are all mixed races with Africans. So yeah, a European African has the right. Bleach blonde hair, curly hair all straightened out, uh, you know, fake contacts with blue eyes and long lashes. As long as she's claiming that African side of her, and you look at her and you say, boy, you look European, she can use the NAACP services. African Americans, y'all just thought it was for y'all. No, at that time, it worked to help you. But also it worked to help them too. The cousins. That's why the ancestors told me to start calling them cousins. And to stop calling them unicorns. Anyway. So, yes, I look at that TLC show, Smothered. And the Italian lady on there, mother and daughter, here's the thing. They are proud of their African heritage that shows on their skin. Matter of fact, they go get tanned all the time. And I know a lot of Italian like that, and some Italians don't need to tan. But in it all, they have no interaction with black Africans. Because once a black African is standing next to them, you don't look at them as like, oh, Italian people with the olive skin. When a black African is standing next to them, you say, oh, y'all mixed race. So you see, this is the people calling and this is the bullshit. Ain't that something? You just, oh no, they're olive skin, they like to tan. No, no. They're Italian Africans. And if an African is standing next to them, you can see it all the way through. And they don't want that. So that's why they don't want you in their neighborhoods. That's the main reason they don't want you in the neighborhood. Because remember, they're unicorns. They're unicorns that just get a tan. No connection to Africa. Though history time and time again has proved them wrong. And the reason why they like to get tan is because basically they want to bring that inside African out. But they don't want to be standing next to a black African. You see? Now y'all turn that, call it racism, bigotry, stuff. I told y'all it's called, I ain't got no black in me. And as long as a black African ain't standing next to a European African, that European Africans say they unicorns. Anyhow. So, NAACP. And then don't get mad at me. Do not get mad at me. I'm already down in the core. My videos already sink into the bellies of the core of the earth. So don't get mad at me. But GARS stands for Greenwich Association of Retarded Citizens. This was a national group that did group homes and stuff like that. Really stepped up when the state of Connecticut started taking people out of, what is it, something more, one of those big institutions. And it was Geraldo Rivera that did a big thing on it. And that's when they stepped up. Now they're called ableists. Well, this one in Greenwich is called ableist. which is a good name. Lolly made that name up. Very smart. Very, because they're able-bodied. Because we worked them, and they worked. So, the block grant, what made me think of the block grant is they have this skateboard thing up here. And I was like, they could really do something. And then it popped in my head. I said, oh, the block grant. They can do the block grant. Ciao. So I'm like, oh, when does the block grant start? Now, the block grant is a federal program. What do they used to call it? Pig fat, pig meat, pig's feet, pig ears, that the politicians used to get when they were in the federal government. They would take that money of their estate, and it would be a block grant. And all the social service agencies would put in a request to the Block Grants Commission or committee to get a portion of the block grant. So at that time, I just finished up a stint with the Greenwich yearbook incident, and through it we had to connect with the NAACP. And since everybody in the NAACP was at least 99 going on 1,000, they couldn't sit through those long block grant meetings. I used to laugh with Joyce. I said, oh man, we need a younger group of people in here in the NAACP. I said, I know how to do it. All I got to do is take a snake and throw it in the middle of the floor. We'd have a lot of vacant seats. So we used to laugh about that. So we went. I didn't want to go. But Joyce didn't want to go. She didn't want to sit there and read through all that stuff and sit there. She just didn't want to do the whole thing. So I said, okay, I'll go. Didn't want to go. So I get there, and of course the NAACP is not asking for anything. They should have been asking for a lot, but they didn't. I was just there as a representative, and that was it. So, okay, now I got to jump back to GARC. I worked at Greenwich Association for Retarded Citizens. That's the name of it. Was the name, now it's called Ableist. And I did vocation, where they came to work every day, and someone would go out and get little jobs and stuff, kind of big contracts. Sometimes, I think we had a year contract with one company where they sit there and they do production work. I remember we got a big job come in. It was something with these pamphlets, and you have to have 10 in a bundle. And vocational staff sitting around, oh, how we can do it, half of them can't count to 10. And I was like, we'll put a piece of like blue tape in front of them, stretch it out so it hit 10, and just tell them to cover each piece of tape. And at the end, bundle it up. Y'all hear the puppies? That's not puppies no more. And that's what we did. That's how we did it. And we kept the contract. It was fine. So I did vocation. So then I was seeing this lady named Pam, and I was like, what does she do? And they said, oh, she does recreation. And, she looks for volunteers. So I was like, okay. So I see the posting for a trip, and I called Pam, and I said, Pam, I'd like to volunteer for this. I said, I work in vocation. I know a lot of the guys, so we'll have no problem. So our first trip, me and Pam, and 7 of the participants, was movie and pizza Friday. Friday night. Yeah, we like everybody else. Ooh. Okay. The stiffy went away. But I tell ya. Let me see. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. I'm leaning over it. Yeah. I'm not leaning back enough. So I'm not pulling up my stomach off my hip. Alright. Okay, we corrected that. Yep, way better. So, almost time for us to get some water. I'll tell you the rest of the story when we come back. Yeah. I'm bending over my hip instead of being aligned. Ooh, child. Stopping the bins is hard work. Though this morning I started, you know what your refrigerator handles are? You know, if you have the oval ones? And I started bending back on it. I was like, no weight on legs. Alright, let's take a break. I don't want to get any water because I think I'm going to shoot a little video afterwards. I'm walking, y'all. Oh! I've got to tell you the reason for smothered. I went on about the Italian thing, but here's another point. Trying to save my feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking down, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Yeah! Let me tell you. The reason why I brought up smothered and the Italian mother and daughter is because on this episode, it seemed like the mother was having some kind of secret. The daughter thought she was dying. Come to find out, she has diabetes. And the daughter said, I knew you were eating differently and didn't say nothing about no exercise. But she does go get her tan. That can burn up a lot of fat and shit. So, I'm trying to stretch up, y'all, you know? I'm like, no weight on the hips. See, as long as this weight is not on the hips, I'm okay. And as long as I don't bend over my hips, I'm okay. But I'm still a work in progress. So that's what I want to tell you about. So she has diabetes that she has to control now. And like that. Okay, back to the NAACP. Back to GARC. So now, I mean to be looking at y'all, but it kind of helps me with my alignment if I kind of look up. So give me a minute. Okay. So we go into the Pizza Hut, and of course everybody's looking at us, staring at us. I don't give a damn. I don't see them. I'm used to it. So after the dinner and the movie, okay, we go to the movie theater, and of course you get the eyes, you get the looks. And, of course, I don't acknowledge any of that. I don't see that. We're there together. We're having a good time. We're telling jokes. We're laughing. We're saying. And After a while, they knew my attitude was, they say, fuck them, right, Vicki? I say, yeah, fuck them. Anyway, so by the time the event was over, Pam had asked me to come work with her in the recreation department. So while I was in the vocational department, we didn't have an elevator. It's the craziest thing ever. You'd have to wheel them out the building, around the side, to the other walkway made for wheelchairs to go down in the basement. Yes. You couldn't just go to the basement. You had to come out, go around, because that's all they had. So, I worked with Pam. We had good times, best time. We went from 7 volunteers to 34. We were clocking in thousands of volunteer hours because that's how we got our money. So I couldn't make enough programs for us to do. Yes, and all the programs were well attended, success, fun. It was wonderful. And then Pam left, and they brought this woman in, European African, scruffy European African, and it was her job. She's gonna do it, and so the first thing she did was she took one trip for a weekend with 7 clients, and came back and said, "What? You mean we only get 4 hours for missing a whole night's sleep?" I said, "Yeah, it's been like that." "Well, I'm not doing it. I'm getting more." I'm thinking she getting us more. She ain't getting us more. She got her more. So I go on a week trip, I'm getting the old time. And there was one of the parents that said, "Vicki, no, you go, John, you tell him no. If it's change for everyone." So I went and talked to him. I never had any canceled trips, never had any call-outs, never had any fatalities, never had any lost participants. What's going on? And he said, of course, she only asked for her, not for me. And he knew I had been there. She just got there. And he gave me my time. But it kind of, when he told her that I too will be getting 8 hours comp when I go out on overnights, she was pissed. Because remember, that's what made her a unicorn. I get 8 hours. The black African only gets 4. But this black African went and now we got 8. She couldn't stand it. Could not stand it. Anyway, we wound up separating. And not for nothing. Not for nothing, but I gotta put it out there. See, she didn't understand that even though these were participants and different things like that, they were still mentally challenged. Pam always had us in vans. I'd asked one time, can we take the train? And she said, if you can find a volunteer for each participant, you can take the train. That means I'd have to pay volunteers way there and back. I'd have to get them a ticket. I'd have to get them dinner. And it wasn't in the budget. So gas was cheaper. But I remember explaining that to Tracy. And she was like, oh, black lady, that's how it used to be done. We don't do it like that anymore. we're taking public transportation. Well, old Stace did a trip down to Radio City Music Hall, and everybody's standing on the platform, and she ain't paying no attention because she didn't understand, like they was okay. And as the train was pulling up in the stop, one of the participants jumped right in front of it. There was no way to save him. No way. I think he'd been contemplating suicide a long time. Oh. Dang, I'm back into the bowels of the earth. I'm not supposed to say the S word. Anywho. So I'm sitting there on the block grant committee. Yeah, as long as I don't lean over my hip and I pull myself back, I am pain-free. Because I got all this fat sitting there on my hip. And once I get rid of that, I'm good to go, y'all. I'm good to go. So I'm on the block grant committee, and GARC has a request. I don't know, maybe like 30,000. And they want an elevator in the building. Remember I told you the building we used to have to take the wheelchair, go down the ramp, go all the way out the parking lot, go around back, and then to take the ramp to go downstairs to the basement. Though it had been by then, maybe 6 years since I worked for GARC, I remembered. So when I you had to read all the requests. When I got to them, and I saw that elevator, I was like, oh, yes indeed, they getting that elevator. Oh, yeah. So when it came time to come up, I said, I worked there. I said, they have to take a participant, because they're in a wheelchair, in the rain down to the basement. You have to go outside through the parking lot, around the back of the building, down the ramp. I said, we're soaked by then. They need this elevator. I said, there's some participants never get to see the basement because it's a hassle getting them down there if they can't walk the stairs. And then if they're not in a wheelchair and they can walk and they don't want to walk down the stairs, you gotta go down the ramp, through the parking lot, around the back of the building, downstairs. So I said, no, they need this elevator. So yeah, I bumped out a lot of other folks getting money. But they needed it. And yes, I did. When it went through, because I think John came up and he said his speech. And of course I went down and I said, hi. You remember? He's like, oh, Vicki. I was like, yeah. I'm sitting on the block grant committee. He was like, oh. I was like, yeah, you saw me sitting up there. I said, but I know the elevator is needed. So I'm all down for it. And guess what? They got the money for the elevator. And guess what? They got the elevator. But I wanted to use that for the block grant committee. Not the block grant. I wanted to tell Skateport that that's a way that you can get money for your nonprofits, especially with the community and the attendance and stuff. I mean, not to say they don't give them enough money to do a roller skate, because this is a not black community. So if you have roller skating in, that means you'll have black Africans there in European African neighborhood, and then everybody will start thinking that they're African, and they don't want everybody to think that they're African because they're European, and it's just a lot. I can't wait to get off this planet. It's a lot. But I'm just saying, maybe for someone's listening, you got a daycare, you got different things like that. It's nonprofit. I think it starts in October. I think like you can start getting but it's the block grant. So you can look it up if you're a nonprofit. I know a lot of people run around and they say, oh, what do they call them? Grant writers. But I'm like, this is pretty much money in the bank. And then, of course, that's when the politicians get all their accolades. Oh, we brought back, pork bellies. Pork belly. Pork bellies. That's pork belly money. Yeah. And if you don't get in there fast enough, it won't be nothing but skin. They done ate the belly out. But, yeah. I felt really good about that. And I know I'm black African. And I also know I came through Europe here. So I know there is European in me. I cannot deny that. The ancestors are saying, if you got to be real, Vicki, you got to be real. If it am what it am, it am what it am. You know? I catch it. I used to, when I was a child, I used to listen to 77. That was for the rock and roller. I loved the Beatles. I love the Rolling Stones. Of course, they're European Africans. Yes, that's why I love them. Because that's the African side that was in them. The outside was European. But that music definitely came from Africa. Europeans back in the way, they was beating each other with rocks. It was the Africans that came over with their, I don't call them mandolins, guitar now, the string instrument. Not them. They didn't have that. Y'all was still dancing or mooing or hollering at the moon around campfires and killing, dragging each other, beating up your women. Definitely beating up the women. That's what y'all still doing now. So it's all first came out of Africa, second came out of Africa, third came out. No more come out of Africa. They took the Africans in Europe and put them on penal colonies like this one. This penal colony is called America. But I was thinking about hands too, you know. I was like, what do I... Y'all hear those puppies? They sound like real dogs, right? You should see them, they're so cute. You know, like how when you're working, you do a lot of stuff with your hands, and then when you don't work no more, your hand mostly does the remote control, the one-arm banded, the video games, your fingers, maybe a little typing, but right now you just need your thumbs or your fingers. So what are the fingers? They're important too. You still gotta grab stuff. They said that's the difference between us and other mammals. These little ridges in our fingertips. Oh, I forgot. Oh, sorry. I may be talking to people who are not really humans, but followers. And the followers, their cult leader tells them that they're something different. But if you're like any other human being, you got the ridges and stuff, you're able to grab stuff, you're able to move stuff. That's fingers. That's even doing this. But they said when the Alzheimer comes and stuff like that, if you haven't really been using hands and stuff, you don't know what to do with them. I know one thing I don't like doing with them anymore, and that's washing dishes. I can't stand washing dishes with it. My fingers be saying, no, no. Since that first day, I pulled that chair to the kitchen sink and said, see, Mommy, I can do the dishes. And she was like, I've been away. She said, you sure can, baby. Let me tell you how to do that. And get that rag. Did y'all hear that pop? Then get that rag and do it. Been washing dishes ever since. Anyway, y'all might hear some more popping. It could be the weather. That could be the problem. It could be the weather. I don't know why I don't sidestep off. You know, like I sidestep on, right? But I don't do that when I'm getting off. Yeah, y'all. So as long as I'm like this, which to me makes me feel like I'm leaning back, but it just means I'm aligned. And as long as I'm aligned, I'm pain-free. When I start that, it's like, we can't turn. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 for good luck. Now I know I see a lot of exercising things coming down the new year, but we going on our 3rd year. We ain't start this track. We've been on it. And I'm not a fashionista. I've never been. I hope y'all can see how the walk is helping me. Ergo, if you walk, it helps you. So if you can see that, then it's good. It's okay. I'm just an old lady that's been exercising the majority of her adult life. And I feel like that's what has me here today. So I'm going to keep doing it. And also, I love my body. The only real friend that I have, this heart just beats for me. It just beats for me. So I got to love it because it's only for me and I'm only for it. And everybody else reaps the benefit of that love. This brain, I love this brain. I want this brain to get all the oxygen it needs. It's the bomb. You know? So, no, I'm not a fashionista. I'm thinking about my spring wardrobe. And I'm thinking I just want the same thing all the time. I just want my body to get slimmer. I just want my body to become more flexible. And I want to be able to cut through this gravity with less and less weight to carry in the cut through. In the cut through. Anyway, whew. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 for good luck. Yeah, y'all, yeah. Thanks for coming on the walk. And yeah, you see, in pain the whole time. But it'll get easier in the course of the day because I'm keeping that blood moving. I'm not clotting up. I'm not clotting up shit. I ain't clotting nothing. I want this blood to move. Push, push, push. Push it through. I want my veins, my capillaries say, get that blood through. Get out the way, clog. Get out the way, clog. And then the clog comes through the anal canal, and falls in the toilet. That's what I want. Anyway, thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, and tell a friend to exercise, y'all. That Lilly company is making a lot of money off of these vaccinations, these insulin. And you can control that with your body. I know they get in your head and they tell you, oh no, that's the disease. Stop eating the sugar. Stay away from the cane. There's other sources of sweeteners. Don't even go for the. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. Like, comment, share. Tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend to exercise, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the walk.